Hey Terry, how's it going, my man?
Pretty good. How's it going with you?
Doing pretty good. Instead of Manic Mondays, I think we're going to start calling it Money Mondays around here. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good name. Yep.
Yeah, it's been Money Mondays, I think, because in the last 12 days, I think, Terry,
Mm-hmm.
between me, you, and Charles, I think one of us has had the pick four in 9 of those 12 days.
That's really good too.
Yeah, I'll take that, right? Any day of
Me
the
too.
week.
Yeah,
So Charles hit a nice one on Friday,
he
which
sure
was
did.
yeah, $900 for 50 cents. So that was a
Yeah.
good one. We can't let the rookie Terry take control here, can we?
No, not really. No, and but I think it was Thursday, not Friday, that he
Yeah,
hit
yeah, it
that.
was Thursday, but still,
Yeah,
nonetheless, it was a nice one. But we still
it
can't let the
was.
rookie take control for
No,
sure.
no.
Absolutely. Well, today we're going to do parks, and it looks like at parks today the weather is going to cooperate, which is kind of interesting to me because the lone turf race got moved off the turf to the grass.
Yeah.
You can see here the weather today at Philadelphia and Ben Salem, PA, looking like it's going to be about 60 some odd degrees. No chance of rain, but no turf racing either. So that's sort of interesting in that. So one quick note, Terry, we both participated in a free contest yesterday. We won't
Yeah.
say who did it, but we'll just say that yeah, that's the one that most people use. And what I don't understand, Terry, is I don't think it's really handicapping if somebody just puts fours across the board and wins.
Yeah. I don't either. I think it's ridiculous.
I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I do think it's ridiculous. And I also think if a person hits six winners and they actually handicap and somebody else just picks the longest shots in every race, somebody who has two winners and a horse that comes in second, just because they picked the longest shots and got lucky on a couple, shouldn't win either. There should be some way to add in your win percentage.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, they should have, some way to have points or something that changes it. So,
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. But in any case, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our picks today at Parks. We're going to start off with race number one. Race number one, Terry, at Parks is a 1 mile and 70 yards on the main track. It's a maiden claiming 10,000. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do the pay sheets because I was working on, as you saw last night, something new.
yeah,
And I want to see if let's see if I can find it here. I meant to open it up, but I didn't do it yet. So I have to go to my documents here quick because it is for race one here at Parks. Let's see if I can open it up real quick. If not, I'll find it later on.
yeah.
Open, browse. Go ahead, Terry. What were you gonna say?
Well, I saw it and I really like it a lot. I think it's really cool. I don't think anybody's doing anything like that at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody do anything like it either. So I don't know what's going on with this. This looks crazy to me. I got to open it up a PDF file. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let's see, file. I should have just left it open, right? That's what I should have did instead of all files. Here we go. This will work better. Why is it want to open it up in Word all the time? All right. Anyway, let's see if it changes it out here. Can you see that, Terry?
No, I don't see anything.
Oh, I don't have the window open. Okay, here we go. Sorry, folks. For race number one,
There it
I don't know
is.
why this is shadowing stuff here, but 38 races so far at 1 mile and 70 yards. The odds are 9-2. I have to get that back one off there. The median odds are 5-2. And this is only mixed up because it is a PDF file that I sent.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why Word converted it funny. Here you see the post position and track speed bias, was something we've talked about before. So you can see the first call. So in other words, the horse that wins the race to the quarter-mile marker has won 45% of the races in the last month.
Yeah,
You can clearly see an inside speed bias here, right?
that's right.
Yeah, this is mixed up. Hold on one second, Terry, because parts of this are missing. So let me go ahead. I know what I can do to bring up the rest of the report. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly check my email and the version I sent to you, right?
That's right.
And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to link to this report inside our, where is this thing in here? To me, to Sean. Where in the hell is it at? I don't even know where it is. Okay, here it is. I'm telling you, I'm struggling today, folks, right now. So, all right, here we go. Now you can see a little bit better, and everything is a little bit less messed up, right?
That's right. Looks good.
So here we have the weight of the winner's circle. You know, the thing you see with the charts that we do
Yep.
talks about, and you know, with maiden races, of course, there's really no understanding of how the horses get to the winning circle. You're just kind of looking at how they're running and trying to guess what their winning style might be. But in this first race, you see there's a lot of horses that want to close. The 6 horse has some early pace. Here's our speed report or a pace report. You can see we've color coded the 1 horse being the one with the most early pace, the 4 horse with the most late pace. The 1 horse has the best combination. The 6 is tied with it. You can kind of see the 1 and the 6 kind of interwoven all the way from beginning to end. And then down here we have our speed figure chart, which kind of shows how these horses have run in their career, not by themselves, again, you know, not their own numbers, but relative to every other horse in this field. So you can get a sense of which horse perhaps might be the best horse. This is kind of how I handicap, and then I have some other things that I put into it. So my email address, along with a link to this PDF, will be there, provided I can get it opened again. And if I can, I would really appreciate feedback on how I can improve in terms of explaining what's in the chart, anything you think I should add. One other thing that we're going to put in here too is the you know, the jockeys and how they've performed at the distance and trainers at the surface. So it's going to be a comprehensive report, not really picks, Terry, but just kind of an overview of the race to help folks better understand the race shape and horses that might fit the bias.
Yep.
All right. What did you think of that sheet when you saw it, Terry?
Oh, I really liked it a lot. And I was thinking, I hope that he adds the trainer jockey, and you just said you were, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and if there's anything else anybody can think of that might fit in there that'd be useful, we'd appreciate knowing about it. All right, race number 1, Terry, as we go on. We see our first left arrow horse of the day. Actually, I got our first 2 left arrow horses of the day, the 4 and the 7. You know, they both can't be the best. One has to rank a little bit higher than the other. Again, we see the 4 horse here being the one with the most late pace in this group, and the 6 horse being a lone pressure horse. So even if the 1 or 7 get in front of the 6, I don't really think it's going to bother the 6 at all, Terry. All right. So, all right. Well, I'm giving a little preview of what's to come, but tell us what your picks are for race number 1.
Well, I like the number 6 horse, Far Heart. She has a high Far Heart.
Oh, I thought it was an excuse me coming behind that. I'm sorry.
She has the highest last race speed rating. She should improve while returning to dirt, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. As you see, she's really the only one that should be out in front. But
and what number was that, Terry?
Number 6.
6, okay.
And then I like the number 1 horse, Cinnamon Dream. She switches to a high percentage winning jockey. The rail post is winning at a 19% clip, and she may improve while returning to a route. Then I like number 7 as my third pick, Only Girl. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and her best dirt speed is closest to the average winning speed. And then I like number 5 as my fourth pick, Government Girl. She may improve while returning to a route.
All right. So for me, Terry, in race number 1, as I flick around 42 different pages that shouldn't be open in my background. And to answer your question, Charles, did I work on that all night? I've been working on a lot of that, the data part of it for quite a bit now. Just a matter of, it's the first time where I've been able to kind of put it all together. The formatting and stuff in Publisher was kind of difficult, but the idea is to go to a programmer. So if there's any programmer watching that wants to be a part of the Horse Racing Today family and help us out, we'd appreciate that. But if not, we're going to go hire a programmer, probably do a Kickstarter campaign, and the folks who help us will obviously get the access to the reports. And depending on how much they help, we'll determine how long they get access for. But we're going to put all that together out, and we're going to put the reports out and hopefully put them on for every single track that's running every single day. In the beginning, it might be limited to the most popular tracks, and then we'll work our way out. But that's the game plan for now, folks, and hopefully we can actually get there. All right, for me, in race number 1, might as well start with the number 1, Terry. That is Cinnamon Dream. Cinnamon Dream is a left arrow horse, as we said, does ride that high win rate rail. And last time out, it showed to be a little bit of improvement in the first half of a mile. So hopefully to see that continue today. just flipping your first two picks around with mine. Far Heart was the lone pressure horse in the field, flipping from turf to dirt, which looks like it's a decent angle for the horse. Number 2, Charlie's Wild Angel, a little faster fractions last time out. It is 7 furlong race versus 6 furlongs in the previous start. And then finally, number 7, Only Girl. The other left arrow horse in this field's been in the money 7 of 11 on a fast track, is what we're going to get today. By far its best, but still there's an O in the win column, 3 seconds and 4 thirds. So a horse that likes to be a part of the trifecta or exacta, but doesn't necessarily want to be a part of the winning equation. Race number 2, Terry, is 6.5 furlongs. It's an optional claiming race for $16,000. And so far, the track bias, a little bit of a rail edge bias. Everything else is fair in terms of post position, but you want to be fast. Who's your fastest horse, Terry?
All right. I like the number 2 horse, La Regala. Regalada.
Let's go with 2.
Yeah, number 2. Yeah, she likes PARX racing as she's finished in the money 6 out of 7 starts, and she's won one of those races. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and a jockey who, in the last 7 days, has won 5 out of 16 starts. Then I think number 7 is my second pick, Schooner Will. She finished third versus similar in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. Then number 4 is my third pick, Frame This. She ran second versus similar in her last race. She switches to a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 33% of the time in the first race after claiming a horse. And then number 1, Ibidal. She has a trainer who wins 33% of the time in the first race after claiming a horse, just like the horse above. The rail post is winning at 21% clip, and the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days is finished in the money 13 out of 18 starts, and has 7 winners, 4 seconds, and 2 thirds.
All right, so I forgot to do this for race number 2. The first scratch of the day. Terry, you got to make sure I stay on track, Terry. Just smack me around. Rich,
I will.
Get your act together.
Yeah.
All right, so here we see the 2 horse is one that does have a pace that should be comfortable for this race, owns a very strong late pace advantage, hence the 2+ marks here, meaning it is 10 points higher than the next closest horse. Also that combination of early pace and late pace for the 2 gives it a plus advantage over the rest of the field. Again, we find our left arrow horse, a closer, one that's typically closed to win, but if it runs its normal race out of the gate, its normal pace, doesn't have to run any extra fast, it should be part of the early pace in a race that does lack early speed because we don't have a single E or EP horse in this group. So get to the front. As we mentioned, speed is the way that win at PARX at the distance and surface. So for me, I'm going to start in race number 2 with number 2. That is La Regalda. As we said, it has the major late pace advantage, and with the way this race is shaping up, shouldn't really be all that far from the front. Number 7 is Schooner Will, a little better mid-move in its last race, which is, I think, important when you're looking at sprints that move around the turn. I remember the old timers always used to tell me, pay attention to the turn, pay attention to the turn. Number 6, God Still Loves Me. Well, we all hope so, right?
Yeah.
Is a left arrow horse, top last race speed figure, probably ups that number in the second start off the bench. And then finally, number 1, Abadale is my final choice. Does have that rail advantage combination. We're going to talk probably a little bit more than we want to today, but that's Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera, jockey trainer combination. It's the first time off the claim for Jamie Ness, which is a 33% angle for the trainer, which is in line with his normal winning rate. So no alpha there for Mr. Ness. Race number 3 is a 6.5 furlong race. As we mentioned, post positions are pretty fair. You want to be fast. That's the way to go ahead and win at 6.5 furlongs at PARX on the dirt, particularly. This race, as we look at the pace setup for the way to the winner's circle for each horse, everybody's about where they want to be according to the pace setup. The 5 should be close to the lead. The 4 should be right off of there. The 7 is another left arrow horse, the lone pressure closer horse. So if this group up here decides they want to go too fast, then he'll be able to be patient. If they decide they want to go too slow, can move forward. So that versatility, one of Terry's favorite angles, should work to its benefit. The 3-horse does contain the most late pace, so it'll be charging at the end. And the 2-horse has a plus advantage when you combine early pace and late pace. Well, tell us about your picks in race number 3, Terry.
Okay, I like number 3 as my first pick, Blunt Force. She ran second versus similar in her last race. She switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and she has the highest last race speed rating. Then I like number 1, Field Letters. Throughout the last race that she lunged and lost the rider. The rail post is winning at a 21% clip, drops in class today, has a trainer jockey combination. In the last 14 days has won 2 out of 5 starts. And then number 5 is my third pick, Cartwheel. She likes PARX racing, finishing in the money 3 out of 3 starts there, and she won 2 of those races. She's returned into a sprint, which I think will help her. And then I like number 6, Memphis Mafia. She finished third in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, and switches to a high percent winning jockey who in the last 7 days have been in the money 8 out of 9 starts with 4 wins, 2 seconds, and 2/3.
All right, good numbers there all across the board. This is my box it up, Terry, in race number 3. This is where we take a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box, take 4 horses, mix them all up together, and hope to come out with winners across the board there. I'm going to start off with number 5, Cartwheel. Does have a little bit of early pace in here. What I like in here is it gets a 10-pound weight break today. And the horses run well at PARX 3 times, 2 wins, and a second. Number 6, that notorious Memphis Mafia. This one's making the third start off the break here. Paco Lopez is going to ride this horse, and he ran much better fractions last time out. So one thing about Paco is, he'll take whatever route he needs to get to the winner's circle. At number 2, Congrats Answer. Not quite sure what that means, but does have a early pace, late pace, what I call combo edge. First off the claim for trainer Michael Pino, which is a 20% way to the winner's circle. And then finally, number 3, your first pick, my 4th shot. This one's Blunt Force. Did run the top last race, speed figure like that, but at PARX 16 times, finished in the money 14 of those 16 times, so really loves to run at PARX, just doesn't like the win there. Only once of those 16 times and 14 in the money finishes was it a winner. Trainer Mayra Montoya and jockey Michael Sanchez in the money, 5 out of 7 together, Terry, with a ROI of $1.66. So pretty good numbers there.
That is good
for that combination. Yeah. 3 M's, right? Michael,
that's right.
Mayra Montoya and Michael Sanchez. All right, let's go on to race number 4. Race number 4 is a 7-furlong race, Terry. So far at the track, so far the bias for 7 furlongs has been much like it is on some of these shorter sprints, inside speed. Take a look at our pace setup for race number 4. We have some similar late pace numbers across the board for the 4, the 6, the 5, the 2, the 7, and 8. So which is pretty much, if I look at this, almost everybody but the 1 and the 3. So that means the horses that get towards the front could have an advantage even more than normal because everybody runs about the same at the end. The 7 horse does have a plus early pace advantage, even though it's a PC horse, probably one that will move forward. And also has a plus early pace, late pace combination, meaning 10 points higher than the next highest horse. So I think this one's going to go true to the track bias, Terry, and go to the speed horses, those that are up front. Who do you think will be up front when they hit the finish line?
Well, I like the number 1 horse, Birchmount Road. He took a 2-month break, and then on his return, he finished a very nice second at PARX Racing. He drops in class today and has a trainer, wins 22% of the time when he brings back a beaten favorite to race again. And then I like number 4, Hurricane. He has won 2 out of 4 races in his career, including one of the wins at PARX Racing. So he can handle that track and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like number 7, Shanghai Warrior. He comes in from Monmouth Park to try PARX Racing for the first time, has the highest last speed rating, and drops in class. And then I like number 6, Go for the Kill. He finished third. Beg your pardon?
So that's a good idea.
It is, yeah. He finished third versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 14 days has won 7 out of 4 starts.
All right. So as we move through the card, race number 4, I also am going to start with the one horse, Terry. I'm wondering if you were in my sheets again because we have the same horses, just in a little bit different order. So quit cheating, Terry.
Okay.
The teacher's going to catch you one of these days. Birchmont Road rides the high win rate rail, does have early pace in here, so that fits the track bias. Was the favorite last time out with better early fractions in its last. I think this one could show more, but the resume is kind of spotty. Sometimes regresses off the second start off a layoff, sometimes moves forward. So hopefully we get the move forward version of Birchmont Road today. Number 7, Shanghai Warrior is the left arrow horse in the field with a plus early pace edge. And as I said, a double combination for early pace and late pace. So if it's close, can outrun everybody at the end, could be tough to catch. Is a track dropper with the top last race speed figure. Number 4, Hurricane. Cut back in distance. I think it's going to help this horse today, Terry. Last race was better than it looks on paper as its times were actually a little bit quicker. And number 6, as we mentioned, which is a good idea, is to go for the kill when you have a chance to win, Terry. This one showed better pace numbers from the beginning to the middle to the end of the last race. Gets a 5-pound weight difference today allowance, and I wonder if that 5 pounds will be enough for that horse to carry its way to the winner's circle.
Might be.
Could be. Race number 4, like the 5, get them late at the wire. Something Terry and I don't have, so Charles is trying to jinx us on this Money Monday. And that's a race that I think is actually in the pick 4 that we're going to come up with in just a moment. So, Charles, we love you, but we hope it runs second.
Yeah.
All right. Race number 5. And like Charles, if you have some ideas, picks that you want to share, angles that you like, other tracks where you have some ideas on your mind today, let us know. Certainly, we'd appreciate it. And so would the folks around here. So we all like a winner, Terry.
That's right.
All right, so race 5 is 6 furlongs. This one's a maiden claiming for $16,000. At 6 furlongs, you do want to be fast and early. You got to get out of the gates with a little bit of punch. And the post positions are mostly fair. So it doesn't really matter where you break from. The one has definitely improved from earlier in the year when it was really a brutal place to be. So in race number 5, we see here that we have some arrows that are introduced for the first time today. An up arrow indicating a horse that's moving up in class in these maiden races. And then, of course, the down arrow. And you can see the 7 horse is the only one with a down arrow. And then the flat arrows are ones, or the flat lines, I guess, are horses that are running at the same level. Again, we see horse with a lot of advantage in here, Terry. It's got a plus early pace advantage. It is late pace number 1. So it's going to be on the lead, has the most late pace. And if you put the two together, has a 10-point advantage over anybody else. And that's why, for me, I make the 6 horse my best bet. Is it also your top choice of the day?
Actually, it is. I really like the 6.
So you really are in my sheets again.
I am too, yeah. Or you're in mine. Anyway, Nikki's Notion. She ran second versus similar in her last race, has the highest last speed rating, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with another horse. So she marks a lot of boxes off. Number 4, Snappy Ride is my second pick. She ran third versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Should improve at the shorter distance and has a pretty good workout on September 28th. And then I like number 8, Imagine. I guess that's how you pronounce it. But she ran second in her last race, and she switches to high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 7, the Furminator. Furminator.
You know what that is? You know what the Furminator?
It's like the Terminator. So
Furminator. No, for dogs, there's this thing like to take the hair off. It's called the Furminator.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be like the number 1 thing. But we have that our lab, and God, I love that dog. But man, her hair is everywhere.
Yeah.
So we got to take her outside with the Furminator and just. I mean, we pull off so much hair. The birds love it, though, because they come and take the hair from the dog and use it in their nests.
Wow. So it works pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's ecology, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Sustainable living, Terry, from the bee family.
That's good. I'm going to tell my daughter about that. She has 2 dogs that really, really shed. So
Anyway, help the birds.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, number 7 finished third versus Tuffler in her last race. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She's tied with the horse above. And she drops in class today, has a trainer, wins 19% of the time in maiden claiming races.
All right, so we mentioned all the reasons why I like the 6 as my best bet. Terry also likes it as his top choice, but not his best bet of the day. That's coming up. I like Imagism as my second choice in here. This one's first off the claim for trainer Michael Pino, 20% angle, and this one should be involved from go to photo. I just made that up, Terry. Have you ever heard anybody say that before?
No, I haven't.
Ask Sean. He said he hadn't heard anybody either. The Furminator is the only maiden special weight to maiden claiming dropper in here. This one is the most lightly raced horse in the field, if I remember correctly, which means there's room for upside and for the horse to surprise. A lot of the other ones have run a lot of times and really haven't shown much yet. So I like the more lightly raced horses because you could get a ride in there, a race in there that you haven't seen yet. And then finally, number 4, Snappy Ride, was a tough call for me over the 3 horse, but I'm going to go with the better jockey trainer combination of Ruben Silveira and Philip Ariston in the 4 horse versus the 3 horse. And as I mentioned, it is my best bet of the day, but the picks with the professor, he has his parlay of the day. There is a link for the parlay of the day below. Make sure you bookmark it because he's changed it. And so far, the parlays of the day, he's kind of struggling a little bit on there. So you might want to pay attention to the video that he puts up. Doesn't look like there's any baseball game or college football games today. Baseball, I think, is on break for the playoffs. And then college football, of course, doesn't play. There is a Monday night football game tonight. So myself, Sean, and Jared might have a pick. You'll want to follow that on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. You can see them below at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And Terry, what should folks do with all that stuff?
Oh, on Twitter, they should actually subscribe to us, and hit the little bell so that they're notified. And then go to Twitter at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Like us on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up, the number 2 day. And then Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day also.
Yeah, we keep it simple, right? With all the different, it's all the same. And as far as football is concerned, man, Jared and myself are pretty hot this weekend. I think as a group, we did really, really well. So we're doing good. So make sure you check out those NFL picks. Again, they'll be on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram accounts. Want to say thank you to Jason, Matthew Hurt, and Roy Sturgeon for the thumbs up on Facebook. Like them, if you like what you see, thumbs up on Facebook as well as thumbs up on YouTube are welcome around here. It helps us with the algorithms, and it also helps us move higher in the rankings. So we love that, and we appreciate it, and we thank you for all your support. All right, Terry, I think the next race we're doing is race number 6. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right, I just wanted to make sure because sometimes I lose track of where I'm at. Not hard to do for me. Race number 6, Terry, is a 1.70 miles, just like we started earlier in the day. The track bias there, Terry, is early speed and typically on the inside for race number 6. If we look at our way to the winner circle worksheet, there are no scratches here. It's a very short field in this 6-horse race, right? Everybody wants to kind of have a little bit of pace in here. Even the pressure closers can get up front. So this one could get a little bit fast on the up front. 4 horse is probably going to be your pace setter. And if the 6 is close, he does have the top late pace and the most early pace, late paced combination. Is that the horse that does the most for you too, Terry, or no?
No, I like the number 1 horse as my first pick, BB Bad. He's never finished out of the money at PARX Racing, and the rail post is winning at a 19% clip. He has a trainer who wins 21% of the time when going from a sprint to a route. And then my second pick is number 4, Shane's Jewel. He won his last race at Penn National, has the highest last race speed rating, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and the jockey trainer combination in the last 14 days, as I said before, has been in the money 13 out of 18 starts with 7 winners. And then I like the number 2 horse.
Well, you already got the 2 horse.
I do?
Yeah, you went 1-2 to get started, I think, unless I goofed it up.
1-4.
1-4, okay.
Yeah.
And then the 2.
Yeah, then the 2 horse is Dist Act and Attack. distract and attack. He won his last race at PARX Racing, has a high percentage winning jockey, and a trainer who wins 38% of the time with horses that won their last claiming race, which is pretty high.
Yeah, big number.
It is, yeah. And then I like as my fourth pick, number 6. He won his last race at PARX Racing. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
All right. So for me in race number 6, I am going to start with the 4-horse. Shane's Jewel is my first pick. This one is that Silvera Nest combination again. Seems to be the right distance for this horse. 7 times, 4 wins, a second and a third. So consistently a strong performer at 1 mile and 70 yards. In fact, when you look at 1 mile and 70 yards, it also includes its best career effort, which was by far the best race. Got some decent works for this horse in its first race since February. Number 6, Olympic Romp, does have the top late pace advantage in this field and the most combination of early pace and late pace. It's another one that's been successful at the distance, just not as successful. 11 times, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 4 thirds. So that's 9 out of 11. BB Bad. Bubba Bad. I think it's probably Bubba Bad after George Thoroughbred.
Yeah.
George Thorogood. Remember that song? Bubba Bad, Bad to the Bone.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that person's a George Thorogood fan. Anyway, this one is a track dropper, but at PARX has run 4 times, has a win, a couple of seconds, and a third, so definitely likes the track. And last time out showed some improved early foot speed when the gates open. A lot of times that's an indication of a horse on the rise. And then finally, number 3, Southern Bridge is a class dropper that's run well at PARX 6 times, 2 wins, 3 seconds. And Jamie Ness wins at 31% when he goes from a route to a sprint. So cutting back might help this horse, although that's not an outstanding, that's not an alpha angle for Mr. Ness because he wins at about 30% overall. Race number 6, Terry, is also our hot dog pick for, right?
Yeah, it's the end. Yeah.
All right. Terry going with $16. I'm going with 18. I'm going with the wink link in the race. Terry has the most horses. Who's going to be right on that?
Well, that's kind of odd, I guess, but you're going with I guess that's your best bet of the day. So that makes sense. I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of competition in that race for the 6. So that's how come I went that way.
Right. I just felt, I really don't like putting my best bet, honestly, in maiden claiming races, but especially maiden claiming 10, because really it's like 2-year-olds, just about anything could happen.
Yeah.
But for me, the reasoning was that horse had the most early pace and the most late pace. So if you get, like I say from time to time, if you can't pass what you can't catch, right?
That's
so if he's in front of you and he's stronger at the end, how are you going to pass what's in front of you if you don't have enough late pace to come get it?
Yep.
Hopefully I'm right, Terry. If I am, we can get through with the 3, the 1 and the 4, the 6, and then the 1 and the 4 again to be double winners. Again, if you're just joining us, between Terry, myself, and Charles, we've had a pick 4 in 9 of the last 12 shows. Having that many pick 4s, folks, warrants some thumbs up. It's an easy way to help the show. We appreciate that for sure. We'll talk about another way you can help the show a little bit later on. But right now, we're going to move on to race number 7, right, Terry?
That's right.
Yes, because as I said, my brain, sometimes I forget where I'm at. Race number 7, another 1 mile and 70-yard affair. Again, 1 mile and 70 yards has favored horses that have inside speed. We see in our pace workshop here that there are no scratches. Got a lot of horses that get little designations here. As the 6 horse is one that has some early speed. In fact, it's designated as the horse with the most early speed. You see there's a plus mark right there, meaning it's 5 points better than the next closest horse, which translates to maybe up to 1 length advantage at the quarter-mile marker. For 4 horse and the 3 horse, both catching left arrows. Their early pace should put him in contention right from the get-go. The 3 horse does have some late pace to go along with his closing reputation, but also if you add the late pace and early pace together, 5 points higher than the next closest horse in lucky race number 7. Terry, take us away, my friend.
Well, I like the number 1 horse as my first pick.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Can you give me all 4 real quick? Because this is your box it up.
Oh, that's true. 1 with the 5, with the 4, with the 3.
All right. So again, our box it up, 4 horses. We throw them together in a $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta box, hoping when they hit the finish line, they come in order with the highest odds first, the second highest odds third, the lowest, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, World Party drops in class today. Her best dirt speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to a high percentage winning jockey, which this trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have been in the money 5 out of 7 starts with 3 wins. And then I like number 5. It's my second choice, Love
Viexa?
Viexa, yeah. She tries PARX racing for the first time and comes in with the highest race speed figure, and should improve with turning to the dirt. And then number 4, Rudy Slam. She finished third versus similar in her last race. As a high percentage winning trainer and a jockey in the last 7 days have been in the money 7 out of 16 starts, winning 5 of those. And then number 3, Starship Blanca. She finished in the money in her last 2 races and likes this track.
All right. Well, it's good that they like the track. Horses for the courses is an angle that I like, absolutely, for sure. An angle that I also like in here for race number 7 is the 4 horse, Brody Slam. I like that. It's a left arrow horse, Terry, with much better times and pace numbers in the first half mile of its last race. Number 1, World Party, down in class, rides the high win rate rail at PARX 3 times out, 2 wins. No seconds, no thirds, but the horse has run at this distance 4 times, is yet to hit the board. So that's kind of a mixed bag for me. Conflicting reports there. Number 3, Starship Blanca, another left arrow horse with the top early pace and late pace advantage in this field. Gets a 7-pound weight break today, which I think will work to its advantage. And then finally, number 5. So I hope you hit the box it up because I'll have the superfecta too. It is the second off the claim for trainer Victor Barboza Jr. It's a 24% angle for him, second off the claim, versus 19% overall. I call that an alpha angle. I like those alpha angles when trainers do a little bit better than they ordinarily do. Race 8 is 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Nope. It has been moved to 1 mile on the dirt. And we haven't talked about 1 mile on the dirt yet, Terry. So 1 mile on the dirt looks like tactical speed is the way. And any post position between 1 through 7 should be helpful. We had a ton of scratches in race number 7, Terry, which kind of, race number 8, forgive me, which kind of surprised me, some of them, because the 7 was a main track only, the 2 was a main track only.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought that those horses might get in there. 13's out, the 1 is out, the 3 is out. So based upon what we see right now, it looks like the 4 horse could be your pace setter in here. Oh, I like that yellow. I haven't used it yet. The 5 horse has the most late pace in here. And a couple of horses that might have been factors have scratched out. So this race, I think, changes shape a little bit, going a little bit longer, going on the dirt instead of the grass. And I actually changed up my picks a little bit because of that.
Yeah, I did too. So
what did you do?
Well, I started out with this race with the number 10, which was a horse that I had as an alternate because I wasn't sure it would get in. But I like it the best in this race. Rescue Rebel. He was beaten only 2 lengths versus similar on the dirt in the last start. He has the highest last race speed rating. The jockey wins the trainer wins 17% of the time when taking a horse from a route to a sprint. Then I like number 11, Celtic Treasure. He won his last race at Delaware Park, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer jockey combination, as I've said a couple of times, has won 7 out of 18 starts with 4 seconds and 2 thirds. And then I like the third pick is number 4, Decology. He switches to high percentage winning jockey and has a trainer wins 22% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. The jockey in the last 7 days have finished in the money 8 out of 9 starts with 4 wins. And then I like number 6 is my 4th pick, Indoctrinate. He drops in class today and the distance will not be a problem.
All right. Hopefully you're right about that. I like in race number 8, this 4 horse, Decology. This one has a pair of seconds when Paco Lopez is riding the horse. Boy, I hope the 4 horse does well in the afternoon. Has plenty of early pace to go along with Paco. And as I mentioned before, Paco will make sure he takes any creative route that he needs to get to the winner's circle. Number 10 is my second choice. It is one that scratched into this race, has plenty early pace, but also one, as we saw in the Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet, has the ability to sit right off the pace as an EP horse. Number 11, Celtic Treasure, would have been my top pick if this horse was running on the turf because outside closers would do well there. But it did run better fractions last time out. And once again, you can't ignore the Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera combination at PARX. And then finally, number 5, El Hermano, was a tough call from you over your 6-horse, Terry. But El Hermano has a little bit better late pace numbers. And I think you got a little bit better combination in terms of jockey trainer in the El Hermano over the Indoctrinate. Also should be better in the second start off a break and catches a little bit of a weight break. Race number 9 is 7 furlongs on the main track. And at 7 furlongs, you do want to be fast with a slight inside edge in terms of post positions. Race number 9, we got to go to the second sheet over here. I got that right. I'm glad I didn't screw that up. We see here there's not a lot of early pace in this race. There's only one horse, and it doesn't get a square around them, the 2-horse. So even though his Way to the Winner's Circle has been on the lead, might not get that lead today. The 3 horses been scratched out. The 2 horses that are likely a challenge for that front spot are the 11, going to move forward with that left arrow. The 4 as well, going to move over that way as with the 11. And then if we look at the late pace, there's a whole bunch in here that kind of have pretty similar numbers. Late pace with the 5, the 6, the 7. So if those guys are close, they have a little bit of an ability at the end to close out the show and maybe factor in a part of the exacta trifecta. For me, the 11 horse in here, Terry, is my long shot. Hizam is a left arrow horse, the PC horse, meaning it can go forward, it can close. I think it's going to be closer to the lead today. And if you look at the performances of this horse relative to the rest, it is highly, highly consistent.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off with my first pick as the presser, number 8, Gushing Oil. He finished 3rd in his last race, and he has a trainer who wins 19% of the time when taking a horse from a route to a sprint. And they're going to add blinkers today to keep his mind on business. And then number 5, Silver Fury, is my second pick. He ran 2nd in his last race and has the highest last race speed rating. Then I like number 9, The Angry Man. He won his last race at PARX Racing and has a really good jockey. Then number 4, Off the Meds, is my 4th pick. He has finished in the money in 11 races at PARX Racing, winning 3 of those races.
And who did you have as your 3rd pick, Terry? I'm sorry, I was reading Charles' comment.
Number 9, The Angry Man.
The Angry Man. All right.
Yep.
Terry's picking horses after me. So Charles says he thinks they look like they may be all scared of the 8-horse to 6-horse with Kendrick Kermouche. You know, I was looking at that 6-horse, Charles, but it's been my experience that Kendrick's like horse to get to the front. And I didn't really think that 6-horse was one that was going to get to the front. And I don't think he rides as well, and maybe he'd admit it. I know he talked about liking to be on the front when he was on our on the Horse Center show. Speaking of Horse Center, tonight we're going to have a Hall of Famer in there, Perry Oots, 7,332 career wins. He'll be coming on at 8:00 tonight with our Jamie Martinez and Sean. In order to make sure you catch that show, hit the subscribe button while you're here on YouTube. If you have any questions for Perry, and he's going to have all sorts of insights, I'm sure he always does. And one thing's for certain, Jamie will be prepared to ask Perry questions. You can ask him questions too in the comment section, or you can put your picks in like Charles is today. So he can jinx us all day long, because so far every horse he's picked, neither one of us has. I have the 8-horse as my second choice here, Gushing Oil. Gushing Oil, Terry, is a horse that's done very well at PARX so far. He has run 4 times, has no wins, but 3 seconds and a third, so likes to hang a little bit. Lone P horse that's making its third start after a layoff, and also likes to hang a little bit at the distance, 4 times out with 3 thirds. So why not put the horse that likes to finish second? Royal Coup is did tie for the top last race speed figure. It did show a little bit of regression last time out, but really on the other end of that showed a lot more late burst in that race. So I think you'll see the 7 closing like a truck at the end. And finally, Off My Meds. Yes, indeed, I am. It's another left arrow horse. Loves the distance 4 times, 2 wins, a second and a third. And the last race was a little bit better than it looks like on paper, with some small fractional improvements in there, with 4 consecutive speed figure increases, all of which were on the smaller side. So just like from 81 to 82 to 83 to 84, but kind of moving up that ladder, something I like to see. 2 races left to go, Terry. Let's see one here, right here. Perry riding today at Belterra, won first race. Well, there you go. He's going to have something positive to talk about. He's going to bring good vibes, Terry. And if
That's right.
That's what we're looking for around here. Good vibes and good winners. That was race number 9, folks. I'm sorry. Race number 10. There we go. Race 10 is back to 1 mile and 70 yards. We've talked about that a bunch of times, so pay attention to the early 1 mile and 70-yard races. You'll find that inside speed has been the way to win so far. It is a shallow field here once again. We have a lone e-horse, the 4-horse. Everybody's looking for lone speed. 4-horse might be that guy today. 6-horse will probably be right on the tail. Does have some of the most late pace as well as the best combination of early pace and late pace. But if you're looking for a closer, that 7-horse will have the most late legs at the end. Terry, but at the end, will he be in the winner's circle as your long shot?
Well, no, my long shot's number 2, Mr. Einstein.
Again, naming your horses after me.
That's it. He won his last race at PARX Racing, has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have been in the money 100% of the time, winning 3 out of 5 starts. And then I like number 3 as my second pick, Expensive Cut. He won his last race at PARX Racing, has a high percentage winning jockey and a trainer who wins 24% of the time when bringing a horse back that's been off from 46 to 90 days.
And that's how you order your steak, right? You don't ask for like any particular kind. You just say, give me the expensive cut.
That's it. Yeah. Anyway, number 6 is my third pick, Hold the Flight. He finished third versus similar in his last race after winning the previous race at PARX Racing. His highest last speed rating and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then, excuse me, number 5, Lease. He won his last race at PARX Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 14 days has a pretty darn good record.
All right. Any idea what that record is? It's just pretty darn good, huh? All right. I'm going to go with the 6-horse here, Terry.
Yeah. I just
Hold the Flight. What were you going to say?
I just didn't put it in my notes, and so I had to say something.
Yeah, well, I just threw that at you to give you a hard time there, Terry. And I did something goofy here too. I didn't put some notes in, so forgive me for that. So the 6-horse is Hold That Flight, top last race big figure. Resume says more in round 2 off the break. Should be close to the front from go to photo. My new saying. I'm going to go ahead and trademark that before some announcer uses that. Number 3, Expensive Cut at PARX, 4 times a win, 2 seconds and a third at the distance, 3 times 2 wins and a second. Highly consistent performer relative to the rest of these. Number 7, Abuelo. So I think that means grandmother. Nuno. I don't know what Nuno means, but does have the top late pace numbers in the field, but also showed some early quickness in the last race. I think I have the 1-horse in here as my final choice. I should probably go with your 2-horse, Mr. Einstein, but I think I'll have the one in my hot dog or my prime rib pick 4. And that is Screensaver. It's the one I forgot to put notes in for, Terry. But the 1-horse to me looks like on the paper that it is one that should be, well, I don't know where it's going to be. I should write my notes down. So I'll put the notes in the recap over at horseracingtoday.net a little bit after the show is over, along with a copy of that pace sheet that we put on, Charles, that I did work on for a little bit last night, probably a couple of hours. Finally, race number 11 is a 1 mile race. We talked about that in the 7.5 furlong turf race that got scratched off. Tactical speed, as long as you have a post position 1 through 7, you're probably okay. You're not going to be at a disadvantage. And we look here, we do get a couple of scratches as the also eligibles got knocked out of this spot. The 5-horse is our last left arrow horse of the day. Does have a plus early pace if the 11 didn't get in. As I mentioned, the 11 did not get in race number 11. So the 5-horse should be a factor when the gates open. 2-horse has the most late pace, should be close to the front. Also has the best combination of early pace and late pace. The 4-horse right behind the 2 in that ranking. Terry, this one is your best bet. Give us every reason why.
Yeah, I like number 2, Another Flirt. She won her last race at
Ah,
Delaware.
now we know why that's your best bet.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, she won her last race at Delaware Park, has a high percentage winning trainer, has a highest speed figure at today's distance, and the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days, as I've said over and over and over, has been in the money 13 out of 18 times. And then I like as my second pick,
You could
number
have just
8.
went with Darn Good. It would have worked too.
Yeah, yeah, and I can tell you that jockey above had 7 out of 8 in the money, 3 winners. But anyway, my first love, number 8, my second pick, finished second in her last race at PARX Racing. She has a good 4 furlong workout on 28th of September. And then number 4, One Wild Woman.
So
Yeah,
Terry's got flirts. He's got One Wild Woman in here. Wonder
that's
what he's
right.
trying to tell us.
I don't know. Probably talking about my wife. Anyway,
Oh, here comes the pan. Look out, everybody.
She has won 3 out of her last 4 races at PARX Racing, has the highest last race speed rating, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 3 as my fourth pick, Ice Love. She finished third in her last race and has done well at PARX Racing.
And we know that's definitely not Honey Bunny. There's no ice in that love at all, Terry.
That's right.
All right. Race number 11 for me, One Wild Woman. Lone EP horse in the field, did have the top last race speed figure. Trainer Roberto Perez, 38% winner when he's staying in the claiming ranks versus 18% overall. That, my friend, is a super alpha angle. Next horse on the list for me is number 2. This is Another Flirt. Sounds like we have the same we have the same taste, Terry. For the last time today, we're going to talk about Ruben Silvera and trainer Jamie Ness. They win a lot. When she wins, that is Another Flirt. She tends to win big, and she's run at the mile 2 times. Both of those were big wins. So 2 for 2 at the mile, smashing the competition, which makes for a good best bet, I think, in here, Terry, for you. Number 3, Ice Love. Terry, once again in my computer. Mini Z pattern last time out. Gets his weight break today, and all he needs to run back 2 races to factor into this one. And then finally, number 11, Pearls and Heels wasn't. No, the 11 didn't get in. I can't put the 11 in there. Come on, Rich. I didn't just to scratch that one out. But I did write notes down for number 5. That one is Dotel Frankie. Was a hard call for me over the 8s. Going with the left arrow horse and the plus early pace advantage, especially since the 11 horse is not in the field. That is it for all of the picks today at PARX, but it's not it for our prime rib pick 4. Terry, both going 3 by 4 by 4 by 4. You're going to start with, you're going to end with 3, and I'm going to start with 3.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. Mm-hmm. And I think we've got a couple of ways, no, at least one way to win.
Well, we got the 4 and 10 in the first race. The only one we can click on is in race number 9 is the 4. So we got to hope that 4 wins. The 6, the 3, and that's it in race number 10. And on the end, we have the 4 horse. That's all we agree on. So a lot of disagreement late in the card between you and me.
There is. Yeah, there really is. It seemed pretty wide open to me, that last part of that card. And then those scratches on that 8th race really changed my picks way around. So.
Once again, all of our picks today for the PARX race. I think the first race will probably come up a few minutes, Terry. Looks like race number 1 is about to go. Does it say 0 minutes, right? I can't read.
Yeah, 0 minutes.
Because my eyes are really bad. Today I don't know.
They're going in the gate right now, yes. I can see.
So here they go. Let's see how race number 1 plays out. As I think only the 7 horse is yet to load. And they're all in. It looks like to me, let's see. It looks like they're maybe messing around with a little bit with the 1 horse and the 7 horse. And then they're off. And as they come out of the break, it looks like the 3 horse has a little bit of an early lead. Page 11. The 1 horse on the rail, Cinnamon Dream, takes to the lead. 7 horse way outside with the 5 horse as they're going 3 wide through the first turn. 4, maybe 4 or 5 wide. I am never a fan of 5 wide through the first turn. So the 1 horse, Cinnamon Dream, is on. Well, that's race number 1. Wrong one. Right. Yeah. Race number 1, Cinnamon Dream. I think I got that right. Yeah. All right. So Cinnamon Dream still on the lead to come around the first turn, followed closely by the 4, the 10, the 4, the 2, the 5, and the 7 as they go through the first quarter in 24 and 4. Looks like they're all running at a pretty even pace. There's really not a whole lot of difference from front to back, maybe 2.5 lengths from the leader to the trailer. As they come down that backstretch, Cinnamon Dream still on the lead with Government Girl hanging in there for second in between horses. Tough spot to be for Government Girl. Clary's Choo Choo on the outside. That's going to be a real hard spot, running 3 wide all the way around the track. And around the turn they come, still in command with Cinnamon Dream, that 1 horse, followed by the 2 horse making its move now, Charlie's Wild Angel. The 5 horse is kind of all out. The 6 horse is making a move late. So it looks like to me, the 6 horse is moving the best as they ran the opening half in 50-2, kind of on the slow side. There's no reason for this 1 horse not to close this race out because the fractions should work to its advantage. Looks like the 2 horse is all out. The 6 horse is trying to make a move on the outside. The 1 horse is starting to short and stride, but the 2 horse is really being worked by the jockey. Not going to get there. 6 moving to the inside. Well, maybe at the end he did get him to switch leads, but the 1 kind of moving out a little bit, kind of ward him off. And as they hit the finish line, it's going to go 1, 2, 6, and 5, Terry. So nice little bit of a trifecta for me to get started on this day. Hopefully, indication how the rest of the day is going to go.
That's right.
So what did you think of my call, folks, there? Did you like that? Do I have a job as an announcer? Not. All right, Terry. So I like this in the last 3 races today. I have my long shot in race number 9. You have your long shot in race number 10, followed by your best bet. So maybe we have a little $1 pick 3 long shot best bet. Hopefully we're right on all across the board with 2 long shots in the best bet. That could pay nicely, I think.
Yeah, good. Really good. So
our box it ups. Mine's coming up in race number 3. Terry's is in race number 7. That's when we took 4 horses, $1 exacta box, $1 trifecta box. 50-cent trifecta, 10-cent superfact the box. I wish I would have did that in race number 1, Terry, with a 9-2 taking home the top prize.
Yeah.
Our hot dog pick 4 coming up in race number 3. Terry going $16. I'm going $18. We completely disagree on race number 5. That's the most coverage for Terry. That is my single. Prime rib, we both got the same idea, 4x4x4x3. We just go different. I'm 3 on the top. Terry's 3 on the bottom. That wraps up all of our picks for today. But if you're going to do Fresno, that's out in your neck of the woods, right, Terry?
It is, yeah.
It is our free track of the day over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. So make sure you head on over there. There is a link in the description below. And if you sign up now for the monthly membership, good idea. It will also include the Breeders' Cup coming up in less than a month. So to give you a whole month worth of racing, maybe build up that bankroll, get ready for the Breeders' Cup. And if you do the pro subscriber, it will also include a wagering guide, which I'll be working on pretty soon, making sure that we have all of the details out there. And then finally, one last thing, a great way to kind of help support the show is go over to horseracingtoday.net. Again, we will have a recap to the entire show today over at Horse Racing Today in just a moment. I'll also link to that report that I did. I would like your feedback. I'm also going to put my email address in there. So please, if you have any feedback, let me know. But while you're at Horse Racing Today, please hit on the HRT gear. Get yourself a Horse Racing Today hat, and you'll be the most handsome or beautiful woman in the room. Guaranteed 9 out of 10 dentists say so.
That's right.
All right. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and out of here?
Yeah, I just hope everybody has a good week. If you're betting on races, I hope you win lots of money so you can get ready for the Breeders' Cup, which is coming up pretty soon. And I just like to say I hope things settle down in the world and we have a little bit easier time this year or the end of this year. So
a little less inflation, right?
Yeah, that's right. Stay safe too.
So some of the things start to head back in the other direction. Hopefully, the stock market can find its legs too, because a lot of people with those 401ks and stuff are really wondering now, probably about their retirement and thinking they're going to have to work a little bit longer. So hopefully that all rebounds for everybody out there. Certainly, we hope today 3 things: try to make somebody else smile today, because smiling is contagious. So do that. Another thing today is call a family member or a friend that you haven't talked to in a while and just say, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you. Wanted to let you know that you're a good friend of mine. You know, make somebody else feel better. Usually makes yourself feel a little bit better too. And finally, no matter what else you're doing today, whether you're at work, you're betting against us like Charles. I hope all those horses lose, Charles. Yeah, I mean, I hope everybody does well. But no matter what it is you're doing between now and tonight at 8 o'clock, again, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Thumbs up if you like. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check in with Perry Oots tonight. But until then, we hope that no matter what you do, it ends up in one place. And Terry, it can only be
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Terry and I will be back tomorrow. Same place, same bat channel for Hollywood. Not Horseshoe, Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm Hollywood.
Yeah, you are Hollywood. Something like that. All right. Have a fantastic Money Monday.